Is this see the whole screen? Is this the whole screen?
Wait, anyone could watch Facebook Live?
Anyone who has Facebook. Zev, can you slide the camera thing on top? Zev.
Where?
You see the camera?
Don't come in yet. It's back up. Camera?
Yeah, you want to see if it works?
Go live.
Camera issue. 1 second.
There's no camera on the computer.
You have block camera access to go away from the video browser.
So do camera. This one doesn't work now.
Yeah, but you're gonna have the same problem on this one. How do we do this?
Why? We didn't have a problem on that one before.
No, but this one is a new one. We didn't use this one.
So you said YouTube today?
To go live, please update your browser settings to allow it. Do you want to go get my Mac, Gobby? Do you mind? It's in my room.
Yeah, come in, unlock this door.
Check this live stream on YouTube.
Jackson, tell him not coming yet. But you just go. I mean, you have to leave. I'm gonna go out that way. So don't unlock it then. You're leaving through this way, anyways. Yeah. So leave through that way. No, then I have a key with me. So whatever. Who cares? We're not gonna start until Shane wants to start. Where's your laptop, Shane? On his bed.
You see what I have on Facebook page, YouTube page. Yeah.
Is that we the key with anyways? Catch it. Hey.
Zev, can you call Rav Taragin?
Alright. Ask him what?
Just call. I'll speak to him. Just put on speaker the first.
Sure. Are you setting up the Zoom link?
If Taragin was he's texting me. Was there a link? That's why I don't understand. He's supposed to. So what should we do?
What? What's the? I don't know.
We also have to Zoom from our computer now.
So don't do YouTube.
What?
Don't do YouTube. You can upload to YouTube later.
No,
right?
so I have an idea. Can you get?
You can upload to YouTube back, right?
That computer here also.
Unplug it.
Yeah.
Unplug it.
Mm-hmm.
Like blue cord, black cord.
Just the 1 second.
Not the
1 second. Gobby's bringing my computer, right?
Yeah.
So I'm gonna use that one for Zoom. And this one can't do Facebook. He called.
Yo, Rav Taragin about to call me back. You might have to hang up anytime.
What? I mean, I don't know I don't know what's happening. But like besides. Can I come in now too? Yeah, sure. You want to? Gobby locked the door. I don't know why.
Answer my phone if he goes.
Okay.
I'll admit. Only you.
Oh, it says that he called you back.
Just come in. What?
Or he decides to go. Rebbe? Yeah. Okay, I spoke with Rav Ori. I spoke with Rav Ori. And what are we going to do? Rav Ori all day. I'm waiting for. We're now setting up a link and we're going to send it out.
Okay.
Can you sign up immediately? It'll be out in approximately 2 minutes.
Right now.
No, but it's my fault that why are we discussing it? Why are we discussing it now? Because I said to Rory all day, he didn't ask me.
We're discussing it now.
It wasn't my fault. Like again, it's my fault. The Mussar isn't working because.
Feel them in. No.
1 second, live. I'll tell him it's not working out this second. I'll tell him. I'll probably use Chrome.
Well, Sam, this is why not let you sign in. It's not working.
No, it's not. Oh my.
Someone else needs to do real quick. Go.
I could no, so let me do Zoom on my computer.
So 1 second.
8 times.
Also, whoever starts the first wins.
8 times. No, because you can't track it.
What's the difference? It doesn't matter who hosts it.
No, I'll tell you what. Unplug that computer because this one can't do Facebook Live. So that either this one's doing Zoom or this one's doing Zoom. We can't. What we should waste our time.
Get YouTube off of that one. We don't need YouTube.
No, we need both because people don't have. I start a new meeting. See, I can do it. Unplug that computer 8 times.
So Rav Taragin just needs to sign in. That's all we need for Zoom. That's it.
Rav Taragin doesn't have an account.
Doesn't need an account. We're gonna.
I know. I'm gonna set it up here.
Then do it.
That's because 8 times. Because I want to do YouTube and Facebook. Because you can only have 100 people in the Zoom. You understand?
Yeah, your computer should be Facebook one now.
What?
And then post Facebook.
But I have Zoom already open here. That's what I'm
It
saying.
doesn't need to be open. Just make the number, and then we'll open it on that one, and Rav Taragin will open it. You don't need to be in it.
Right. No.
No.
8 times.
It doesn't make a difference. Whoever makes it first has the number.
I'm ready. I'm done.
So what's the number?
Copy URL.
We're not making an account.
8 times. Can we just do it my way? 8 times. Please, can we just do it my way?
But this is already plugged in and set up. It doesn't make sense to do this. I'm telling you, the rest of it, it's not worth it. Just open Facebook. You don't have internet on you're on hotspot.
No, the internet now started working in here. I don't know what happened. I sent the thing. What?
You want to rely on that?
Yeah, and worst it doesn't have.
Just send no join it.
I have 3 quadrillion texts now from alumni. I want to have this thing started and done for. But I have this because I have it here set up already.
So send the link out.
Because I'm not sending the link into Rav Taragin join. I'm not saying the link just Rav Taragin. I sent him, please join. So let's see what happens.
Where's Facebook?
Facebook doesn't work. That's why I want to take that computer, put it here, and use it for Facebook.
Why is this computer better Facebook than that?
This computer, for some reason, the camera's blocked.
You just move it.
No, it's not the thing on the top. 8 times. Sorry, but I've been here for 20 minutes already trying to figure this out. Please, can we just do the way I want to do it? Okay. So, you have your USB-C thing?
They don't need it.
No, but I want to plug it in here.
You want me to move this computer?
Yeah.
Computer.
You have the USB.
Bring that. Here's the USB-C.
That one's not going to work on Zoom either. Yeah. We will.
Because everybody keeps texting.
I know. I keep getting the text also. I just want to have it set up here. You want to open the door here, tell guys to come in? We just want to have it for sure set up before we send out the link. Plug in this one here. What?
Sammy, can you plug this one in?
That's it. I'm done. This one's ready. Ready? Done?
Do that. Put everything in there.
This one's ready. See? Okay.
Make it full screen.
We don't need that one plugged in, Sammy. Now we can click.
Turn the lights on. Sorry, lights go. Turn the lights.
Have you unplugged everything?
The other one, yeah. Push it in, push it in. It's not in.
Okay. Oh, I can't deal with 1,000,001. Where's my
They're just setting it up. We'll open a second.
Ready? Okay.
Sure. Not yet.
Boom.
Give it a second. Are we good?
This one.
Sammy's.
This one. Done.
Sammy's. What?
No, we're done. That's it.
They're
Okay.
just setting it off. They don't have anything.
Okay.
Are you talking about Saturday? Wait, are you doing Facebook Live or not?
Yeah, we're doing everything. I just sent out the text to all the group chats and everything's ready.
Hang out the man.
Yeah.
Wait, you don't speak yourself.
8 times went to go get the speakers. Okay.
Can you make sure? Can you confirm if it's Saturday that is recording? Guys are.
We're gonna take care of the recording.
No, but he should record audio on his phone. Yeah.
So you want to tell him that now?
I texted him already.
Zach, can you turn Sammy? Can you put it on gallery mode?
I didn't do that.
Oh, look at that.
Okay.
I'm not even gonna turn off one of the lights, turn off the main lights.
No, let's just please don't wait 1 minute. That's why I said that's why we have it both on YouTube and Facebook also. Now you understand? Okay, 1 second. You want to connect that to my computer? Guys, everyone, when you come in, please be quiet because it's already live. Garby, tell everyone to be quiet when they come in. It's already live.
Sure, Shane, take my extension cord. Sure. Sam, you still need a light?
Yes, please. Just come in and be quiet, please.
Oh, you gotta be sitting right here.
Okay, I'm sitting in that last chair.
Guys, please sit down and be quiet.
Wait the way first.
Okay, guys, sit down. Everyone sit down and be quiet.
Guys, spread out. Spread out.
Why is this not working today? What? But I don't know why it's not working on this computer all of a sudden. What don't they have? But it works on this one. Worked on this one before also. That's what I don't understand. How do I change my browser settings?
Why do I have two computers? Why are there two computers? Hi, Andrew Haberman.
So what should we do? Should we just put my computer here? I mean, but it doesn't want. But it was working this morning. That's why I thought this would work. You want to join Zoom on this computer? None of us have Zoom accounts. That's the problem. That's why we didn't use this computer. Does anyone have a computer here? Okay, what's it? Guys, 2 meters. 2 meters. Guys, there's 10 people in this room. Whoever isn't part of the first 10, please go listen on Zoom. That's it. Ain't my loss. 10 people, everyone else out.
Just separate it.
No, 10 people, everyone else out. No,
It's 2 meters away from each other.
Can you answer Taragin? He's calling.
Okay, you ask him to start.
I know. But what are we supposed to do?
Shane, you ready to start?
Facebook.
Hung up. Dang.
1 second. Put your phone just on this computer screen.
That's what I said.
Yeah.
Shane, I'm playing on my what a legend. I'm not there. No, I want to see everybody else.
Yeshua, Shane Saffron, the other staff members together.
Yeah, Shane.
Obviously, this is a very challenging time for all of us. Very deep way. Let's start sing a little bit more where we are. Sing together, together and separately.
Sorry, mute everything. I just what? Putting on this? Can they hear me?
Blah 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 blah.
And people are right now.
How many people?
There's 3 people.
YouTube or Facebook?
YouTube.
You're on Facebook?
7 people on Facebook.
Maybe it's possible, non-youth people, careful on their end, make sure there's no background noise. If there is,
I don't need to turn on the back. Is this one full on?
I don't know, way that pictures can be displayed so I can see the people who are here. And it would be great if possible, I don't know how to change the settings. Their answer, you can see each of you. It's one thing to give a share by video without seeing and interacting with people. Like either, at least it's a share its information. We'll speak about the Torah, the Mussar. We'll speak about how we can grow together. This reality is indicative of the situation you're dealing with. Strange thing to look at, like if you don't see myself instead of seeing you. That's part of who we are. If we grow up and watch what's happening within ourselves a little bit. So we know, we just look at perception, but get an indication of what we're thinking about. This week, of course, there are 2 parshas, Yaakov. And I think to the extent that the Parshiot HaMishkan are Parshiot that don't speak to us too much because we don't have a Mishkan. It's interesting that not only do we have the first 2, Parshiot Truma and Tetzaveh, and everybody asks about why we have them, then we get them again. We get double. Whatever explanations we give for Truma and Tetzaveh, we then have to figure out why we have another round. This is that other round. This week, in addition to Yaakov, we have Parshat Chodesh, Shabbos before Mussar. Chodesh is Alochet. And of course, any time and every time these things coincide, we have to ask ourselves what the significance of the coincidence is for us at this time. Yaakov, who the heck? And of course, anyone who's been looking at WhatsApp, social media this week, see everyone's looking for connections. Everyone's looking correctly. What do we see here? What are we supposed to be taking out of the parsha? I believe that at least in the Yaakov's case, the answer is so clear. So clear. It's even scarier. As we know, the name of the parsha isn't just the first word or a word in the first pasuk. It's indicative of the direction of the books, the nature. I was speaking a couple of weeks ago, one of the fathers of one of the incoming students in Yeshiva, today that she was speaking about Rashi on the parsha, He was talking about how Rashi is these tears. People don't see his shot because they don't realize that Rashi is looking at the expanse and not looking just at the pasuk in the word. And it's pasuk. He said it. I started saying all these other Rashis. Pasuk. The name of the parasha is indicative of the nature of what's going on in the parasha. Parasha's Vayakel is a parasha of Hakel, of Hakol. And you see it in the fact that it's not just the first pasuk. It introduces the chief way of Shabbos. It's also the fourth pasuk. The parasha begins Vayakel, Moshe gathered them for Shabbos, and then again Vayakel. Why? The parasha is something that we're meant to see that's told to us as part of the Hakel. The explanation, I think, is simple. The parasha. In the parasha, we understand that the mission is that the Jewish people have a relationship with Hashem. Hashrat Hashem. The kingdom resides amongst us when we're gathered. Parasha is not finished. And that's when, even though the parasha begins with Vayakam, reference to the secret of Shabbos, repeats it again and again. Repeats it again. Everything in the parasha is said Vayakam. First thing, Shabbos, but also to repeat it to understand that our relationship with our Kadosh Baruch Hu runs through our relationship with each other. We forget this. Forget this because we live in a world where our lives are supposed to be. Even if we're religious as opposed to the values of broader society, sometimes even our religious values get defined, get tainted by the way the world around us looks at things. All around us doesn't have religious goals. They look at their goals themselves. Our life, we have religious goals, but our goals are themselves. I was thinking about it this week, it's surreal. And on the one hand, the whole world is feeling right. And it's amazing how some people have other things going on at the same time. It's amazing that you can have other things going on at the same time. You look at the news, Tom Brady's figuring out what he's doing. It's a big thing, right? We have to figure it out. The world is dealing with the huge sorrow. How can we struggle with the big? Or sorry for everyone else. And again, the underlying story is this is a guy who's being partisan. His mahus has been being partisan. Do we live in a world today where no one can be part of it? Do we live in a world today where people feel that if he is being part of something, they have to leave so that they can find a new way? Do we think that he's leaving so he can make another $1 million or $10 million? He has to show that he's a winner himself, that not as part of something. So sad, because in the end, he accomplished the big things. And in Nam Yisrael, this is the ABC. Lo Tov with Adam, with Adam, not with his name, not just a physical player. That's the companion, that density, being connected to us. And I know that I'm feeling it right now. Very much alone, very much together at the same time. Strange. I'm all alone. All the children are where they are. All the single fathers, mothers. My youngest son, they were only people home. They would have to listen to the Mussar schools, maybe to sing it together. Yes, they were. Alone in the deep room. It's pretty exhausting. Then right after Purim, all the things going on. Thursday night I came home, and each headache. Went to lie down 2 minutes, and I realized that the boys in the yeshiva were warned to a lust and making possible. Back to yeshiva, and we're together. Yeah. We went into Shabbos. Where are we today? Everybody's in the Arab Conference. People are logging in. You see the picture of everybody who's in the car. Goes in his house. Everyone's in the Arab Conference alone. Except boys in Shiva. We have each other. But staff in Shiva are helping boys continue doing the great things we're doing in Yeshiva for ourselves and for our Yisrael. Leaving people in Yeshiva were alone, it's safe distance from each other. This is Parshas Vayakir. Again this Thursday night. Bigger. I'm exhausted. And it knows a little bit of what I'm trying to do to help Am Yisrael and trying to bring together the Rabbanim of the world. And mostly, all the stuff always working with now. Stakes are much higher. What's that? The answer was there were words in Rashi of the Parsha gathering Sfarim.
You have a chance to gather.
Hopefully the link for the Zoom came a little late because I was transcribing and sucking from the Shefter, but I'm willing to get out right before and to get it out of time. Rashi writes, first of all, the Macharat Yom gathering was a Monday of Kippur. And obviously you wonder why we need to know it was Macharat Yom Kippur. Why the Macharat people like that? Rashi continues, Lashon Hizil. As soon as you see one of these things, it freaks people out. Grab. The graph for Rashi. It's a dictograph. Forget. So here it's very important. Lashon Hizil. Vayakel. She'eno osei anashim yadayim. Something on PPV. Moshe didn't bring them together. He brought them together. What he said brought them together. It wasn't that he gathered them. They were gathered around what he presented to them. She'eno osei anashim yadayim. There's two types of gathering. One is we can bring people together, and the other is where people have something to say that brings each other. When we're in yeshiva together, we're together because it's this. When we're in yeshiva together, it's because everyone has purpose, what they're gaining in this building, in this program, in these shiurim, and they come to accomplish what they want to accomplish. Here we're not together. But we're coming together. And when you come together by choice based on something being said, that's really coming together. That's a situation where people have chosen that they want to be together for something. That's the deeper level of power. That's the deeper level of relationship. People have sorrows. I hope that none of us have to have deep sorrows in their lives thus far. Fulfillment service. Generally, when people go through service, generally they purposely, right? So their experience, their spouse's experience, their child's experience, and they experience it with their close ones. Very often you don't want to tell other people for whatever reason. So if you're right now, most of us, Baruch Hashem, are not suffering personally, not sick. But we are surrounded and deceived by what's going on there. The world is terrified. Totally different kind of feeling. When you're suffering alone, the rest of the world is living its life. It's weird in a different way. Only because everyone's going about their business and I'm suffering. How can the world be normal? When you feel normal, the world around you is going crazy. It isn't kind of weird. And obviously the world is going crazy for good reason. And there's a big threat. We have to be careful about this question. It's an important time for people to reflect on what they're about as individuals, and who they're connected to because we share goals and events. And obviously, we should be connected on some level to all human beings. Chavivim and Chaviv Adam Shenifra B'Tzelem. All people are precious. They're created in God's image. And on a higher level, we should be connected to all Chavivim Yisrael Shenifra B'Tzelem. All God's children. Unfortunately, too often we don't appreciate it. And obviously, on a higher level than that, we should be connected to all people who identify with our Lord Hashem. I feel a natural kinship with anyone who fears. But there's a higher level of affinity that you feel with people who you share who you share the faith and Torah. Never forget that the part of others. We have something we share together. And just having logged in, seeing everybody logging, looking back at everything. Most people's cameras are on. It'd be good to be able to see people. See the other name and ceiling. Oh, I see Jonathan Wenger. He's got a good back photo over there. Let's keep Graver. Looks like he's skiing. He's got nice hair. You know, so I've been smiling. Oh, it's Friday, the daytime. You know, keep going here. See the rat in Florida. Keep Earl down. You know, all the things. Keep Aryeh. Then book. Goes on and on. You know, that's okay. And Caesar. Scratch the other eye. Marlowe. You know, okay. Schleimerlin. And Andrew Haberman. Okay. Earl Wiener. Just, you know, was comfortable in his room. And Liz. Sure, I hope everyone's well at home. Jack, we have all these people, all these chaverim, and we spend the whole day going through. We have the soldiers here, we see. The bishops, it's like Dad on the side there. Aleph Lewis and Avi Fogelman and Jonathan Berner, Gidon Schwartz. We go on and on, you know, all people. Avi Schneider. Let's see Avi Schneider. So you see Avi Schneider. You see the 17 years ago. Yeah. It's a great opportunity because we'll stop. We choose to come. She knows that should be a dying. What's interesting is whole lives we're spending running somewhere, trying to get things done, trying to get ahead. The world moves at such a fast pace. And now suddenly, it's like one more chance. What's interesting is my whole life I've never been asked to part with my social media. Maybe that's a funny thing for me to say. They say in Israel that WhatsApp is being used 3 times as much. Anyone who knows Israel, you think there's WhatsApp a lot. But to say that Israel is using WhatsApp 3 times as much, there's something going on. There's no time to reflect on anything, just to keep up with it. Everyone said this list, that list. Everyone has all the lists in their life, all the associations. I haven't looked forward to Shabbos. It's like just stop. Clear my head. Obviously, the relationship between Shabbos and Mishkan. Relationship between Shabbos and Mishkan, which we see in Vayakhel and in Kisa. Mishkan is the place where we find God. Shabbos is the time where we find God. And there's a huge deal here in the way Shabbos is presented in Parshas Vayakhel as opposed to plus days. Sheshes Yamim Te'asem L'Lacha V'Yom HaShvi'i Yelachem Kodesh Shabbos. Not Sheshes Yamim Te'asem. Sheshes Yamim Te'asem L'Lacha. Not the view of L'Lacha. Realize how much gets done because it gets done, not just. Shabbos is the time when people are able to stop for a moment from the rat race. When people are able to look beyond themselves and to appreciate the broader values that bring us together. Torah. And you come to students who identify with it as well. I look forward to having you as part of the special thing in the Torah of Hashem. We're experiencing tonight with people from 17 years. Touching to me. The Machras Yom Kippur. Yom Kippur is the Shabbat, the moment where everything in our life starts. You look at the Rambam Hilchos Shvisas Arasor, so the Rambam presents the added level of halacha and Kippur beyond Shabbat as it's not just a time when you cease doing work, it's a time when you cease all involvement. Your shoves from your physical interaction. And it's so interesting that this parsha of Shabbos describes Shabbos as Shabbat Shabbat. Kippur, our involvement in the world stops so we can really reflect on the higher people we strive to be. And there's a level of shalom and achva that are accomplished in Kippur. Start in Kippur by speaking about the ability and the need to daven with each other, even the sinners. There's a higher level that we can achieve for Yom Kippur. That we can, by seeing ourselves better, see ourselves as connected to each other. And that makes the mission. That makes the second Vayakhel possible. As we know, as I'll point out, that the word Vayakhel is used not only in Parshas Vayakhel, but it's used also earlier in Parshas Kisa and last week's Parsha Vayakhel. The Jewish people were nekal for the Chet. They gathered together to something they thought would bring them together. And there's a lot of things in our lives where we get together and we do things with other people. And we think they're about other people. And people like when they're with other people, sharing experience. That's why there's some people who go to movie theaters, right? Let's leave back chairs, back something. Watch the movie with other people. You're willing to pay more money for it, right? You go to a concert, right? Not just the music might be better. It's the people. The people gathered together in Parshas Kisa for something else. It has to be a different context. In order for the mission to be built, we needed people to come together with a true sense of identifying. And it runs through Shabbos. I have no doubt, and that's every one of us your last the fear isn't just on the face. There's most and then it's just okay. The fear is just the unsettling. The things we like to take for granted in the shoe or the work. I have to travel a lot. People travel a lot more than me, but travel more than I want to. And after a little bit of traveling, eventually that flights that I cancel, flights that are late, all kinds of planes get messed up. And things we'd like to rely upon, like on time arrival, 98%, you can get in, but not always that way. And it can mess everything up. You can say it's an excuse. And okay, my flight happened to be late. Or you can realize that it's indicative of the fact that you shouldn't assume. I'm always mastered. And I talk about a flight or talk about a trip. You have to snap the flight to be. Never to say I will be. Never to say I have a flight. Never to say I have a flight because flight together. Never to say I'm going to be on a flight. And the fear here is more than just about being sick. Fear here is just, who knows? Who knows? We can't assume anything. I'm sure we have for a very long time. Our life, our God, our world, about who we are, about what we will accomplish. And that's how it's hard to think for more than 10 seconds when there's another picture there. And it's nice to see people learning with each other, which goes in those pictures, right? You got the small one, the big one. You see the big one first. I know that. It was just a small guy. You got to find out the small guy. That big picture is not getting bigger. So I got to figure out how to make screenshots, same size. Right? Zoom pictures. That's pretty much. But sometimes you just have to use it. That's okay. This is a straight, just a cup together. That's interesting. We have to embrace it. I think that we can take it. What does it mean? I mean, that's able to see anyone. Able to see everyone. And I genuinely, my kesha, each of you is stronger. Because your kesha would have to communicate with people without being stronger. That was just a coincidence. And I guarantee you that if you internalize what you're experiencing properly over the next days or weeks, your relationships with those you value are going to be challenging. They're going to be difficult. And if you're at home having a hard time with those you're close to, you should understand that it's natural because we haven't been forced to really be with each other. And it's an important mirror. It's important for us to work out the relationships. To be able to be in each other's sense, to be able to talk it out, to be able to be masculine. And on the one hand, I know all of you You're trying to maximize your time. You have the chametz, you have the shir, and you have the this, you write the parsha, and that's great. It's because they into the family. That's the Mussar. It's pasha again. And it's presumptuous to say Corona is happening because I don't know. God doesn't look to me. I don't look to him. God loves me. But we have to ask ourselves what's the takeaway. So it doesn't mean that's why it's happening. What's the takeaway? What are we supposed to do? And there's a lot of things. One of the answers is learning how to be alone and learning how to be together. And togetherness with the people who value in our lives who are outside, and it's the people who value in our lives who are with. And hopefully, our Kodesh Baruch Hu doesn't have to separate us more from each other for us to appreciate it. Deeper level of pocket to experience what we're not doing with someone. Let's speak a little bit now about Parshas today. Obviously, there's a lot more to say about the Yaakov. I don't know how many of you have ever thought about the beginning of Parshas today. About anything in Parshas Today. I should be limited to the beginning of the Parshas. Parshas Today. Who can tell me about Parshas Today? But interesting that the Torah decides to break up. It's split between the building of the Kalim and Parshas and the construction, whatever word you want to use, of Big Day Kahuna. Decides to interrupt it with a summary of the goods that were collected. I would think if you want to summarize what was collected, do it at the end of the building or before the beginning, but right in the middle. Very strange. Ele Sekudei Mishkan. Mishkan Ha'idut. Just we have the Torah says the word Mishkan twice. Ele Sekudei Mishkan, Mishkan Ha'idut. Doesn't say Ele Sekudei Mishkan Ha'idut or Ele Sekudei Mishkan Ha'idut. Ele Sekudei Mishkan, Mishkan Ha'idut. Right, this particular. And anyone looks at Rashi, he takes it in two different directions and seem to be so to each other. And the word Pekude in Parshas Pekude is like Yaakov. It's not just the second book of Parshas. Because if you keep looking, it says, Eile Pekude Mishkan, Mishkan Ne'edut, Asher Api Moshe. She got the word a second time. And we're not done yet. The concept of Pekude comes back in force, particularly by the Kesher. Good meaning today, we summarize the metals, mainly the metals that were collected. We mentioned quickly other things, and then we say in Pasuk Kav, gives you the amount of Zahav. Doesn't say how it was collected. By the Kesef, so what about the Kesef Pikudei Ha'ida? Here the word Pikudei comes back. Mentions the amount like by the Zahav, but it calls it Pikudei Ha'ida. And then it talks about how it was collected. Bekala Gulgolet Masjid HaShekel, the Shekel HaKodesh. It tells us where it came from. It tells us what it was used for. It doesn't just say like it said, but the other metals. This was the metal that was it elaborates where it came from, what it was used for. And it calls it Dehai. Kesef there. And again, if you look carefully, in Pasuk Chav, see again. Beka la Gulgol et Mas Hashem B'Shem Kodesh L'chol ha'over al ha'pikudim. It's not just in the person, and it's connected specifically to the kesef, to the metal that's elaborate. Something surprising, something new. And the truth is, look back again to Parshas Kisha. Next week's Parsha, when Hashem tells Moshe Rabbeinu about the need to collect the Matzah shekel, what Moshe is telling the Jews about now. But there too, there's an emphasis on Pekudei. With back Parshat Kisisa, Pasuk Yom, first parak. Zayitnu, let's start from the first one. Ki Kisa Rosh Bnei Yisrael Litkudehem, V'natnu Ish Chofan Afshal Hashem Bifkorotam, Zayitnu Kol Over Ala Pekudim, Pasuk Yidal Kol Over Ala Pekudim. Here too. Okay. Why is it so important? Why is the kesef that was collected in this way so important? And why is it called Pikudei? Pikudei Haida. There's a lot to say about it. I just want to give a quick idea. I go with a little bit of Hayat, a little bit of Pashat Chodesh, there's 3 ideas to come out. Having the right. The Mishkan was built through 2 types of donations. Rashi makes this point back in Pashat Chodesh. There were 2 types of donations, 3 rather. One type of donation was everyone gave whatever they wanted. Cooperatively both. Each one gave whatever their heart pleased, whatever they were fun. There's something beautiful about it. But the Mishkan also had another type of donation. That was a Matzah shekel. And the Matzah shekel, by the way, is important because it was the beginning and it's what continued afterwards, right? Kodesh Adam, Matzvi and Halashton, shekel and Nisan, Kodesh. Why do we need 2 ways? I don't understand. If you want to go head tax, okay. So figure out how much you need to the Mishkan. Comes out to $10 a piece, like chilling from Thursday night. You have to figure out how much you need, and divide it up. Everything is the same thing. And if you want to be, everyone give them whatever they want. So then do it that way. Why do half and half? I think the answer is very. To build the Mishkan by mandatory donations, you can't have a relationship with God if you hold on to mandatory donations. That's high school. You can't have a relationship with Talmud your whole life's questions. And I imagine this week people got to feel the difference between Sharm Mitzvah and information. Baruch Hashem. Baruch Hashem. So many people develop means of Sharm. So many people in Shiva. And then when you learn with the group or individuals, it's more than just watching someone speak. So we reach out the means of those feelings. The Mishkan can't be built with mandatory donations. It has to be because there's a heart. But the Mishkan can't be built just out of a sense of, you know what, I'm interested, I'm not interested. There has to be a sense of responsibility. There has to be a sense of, I'm responsible to give, and we all have to give the same, and we're all invested the same way, and we all have to. The kesef of the Matzah shekel is expressive of a sense of responsibility, a job of a kudei. And what's interesting is, take a look at the first pasuk. It's really a pasuk laden. You can spend just a lot of time in the first pasuk. You won't. Hey, let's there mishkan asher tukan al pi Moshe avodat leviim biyad tamar ben Aaron. Where did the Levium come from? Hey, let's there mishkan asher tukan al pi Moshe. Rashi says the building. Right. Avodat leviim. Where did the Levium come from? Rashi says. It's talking about the kelim that were given over to the Levium to carry in the desert. Why are we talking at the beginning of Parashat Pekudei, where we're summarizing the metals that were collected and the building of the Big Day Kahuna? Why are we talking about the Levium carrying the kelim? What does that have to do with the price of rice in China? But you guys still use that free. Again, the spirit of the first the spirit of the there's a lot of responsibility. And the people donating, the people building, the people carrying. And they're all, I saw something interesting in the yeshivas. I see something interesting in the yeshivas. I want to talk about the interesting thing I saw in yeshivas, and I can write a book. This week, more than any other time in my life, I've been responsible for people. Going to the back. This week, I had every reason to stay home. I set records driving into yeshiva for time and speed, not because I was driving fast, but because there were no cars. Like driving through a ghost town. Stopped by a policeman today. I did anything wrong. Although when you get stopped by a policeman, it's like, what did I do wrong, Fred? Okay, well, the person was already doing it. What are you doing? Where are you going? I said, I have to go to yeshiva. He goes, why do you have to go to yeshiva? I said, I have to put in some responses. He said, I don't know, is that chiyuv? Is that necessary? I said, I think so. What I felt. Okay. Monica. Stay home. You want me to stay home? As people are responsible. When you people, you feel this. I'm going to give everyone a bracha that you should in your life. And people you're responsible for. You make a difference in their lives. Their lives matter more. What I feel this week in yeshiva is, Baruch Hashem, we try hard in yeshiva. Be responsible. Right? You're ready. You have your country. You have your mission. You have a referee. You have the Rosh Majusi. You have Shosh. You have Shosh. And we go on and on and on. Right? Something this week. I have to be more responsible for other people. You see the investment people have on its theirs. We want the Jewish to care about the mission. To care about the relationship with the brother has to be the heart of the relationship. That's because everyone has to have a role. Everyone has to know that their role is incomplete on their own. This is a master. Everyone has to know that every other Jew also has a role, and they're equally important. But I have a role too. And in a world that's upside down, it's a lot easier for people to feel that they matter. It's easier for people to feel they don't matter, that's sure. But it's easier to feel the difference you can make. How many people are hunkered down, shrinking within themselves? And how many people are rising to the occasion and thinking, I'm going to make a bigger difference? And if you're thinking that way, it's not just other people you're making a bigger difference to. You're making a bigger difference to yourself. Because you're making yourself someone who matters more. We started this week. And again, all this happened this week. Sunday, we were just, cruising, living life. Dude, that would be great. You know what I'm saying? The entire, I mean, about the shop for you. For all Gehenna. Well, we started a program last few days, Chavrusa, staff student Chavrusa, big issue on for all the staff. One of the Shana Gimel guys said to me, I'm looking at him on my screen right now. You guys don't know who's on the screen. He said to me, Rebbe, can should I volunteer to take a younger guy? I don't know if people do. Okay, that's a moment's truth. I don't want to point to them as a No one said he should do it. But put it in your mind. Have it within. And every time I see that staff member on the upper corner of the picture learning with a guy, I say, look, I don't know why you do Corona. You got your cheshbon inside. I don't think, but I'm happy that boy had his chance to step up. And you don't have to be Shana Gimel to be 2 years older than someone else. You're a senior in high school. I think I saw Eitan Arbach at some point. I think I saw him here. I saw Elon Frankel. They were coming up. The names are coming up too fast. Yeah, I'm trying to go through quickly. I saw a couple of seniors in high school. Just trying to go through. Oh, I see all these great guys. Wow, what a chutz. They're the shared Torah with these people, and that's even shade. My God. I see the Samsung Galaxy. Very nice. Good phone, man. Samsung Galaxy. You don't have to be Shana Gimel to be 2 years older than other people, and to be able to make a difference in other people's lives. The problem is that people are waiting. They're waiting to be told that they have to matter, they need to do something, they should be stepping up. God sent the helicopter first. We don't realize that God sent the helicopter. And the way to make a difference isn't necessarily to live stream share. Make a difference in one person's life. There's a lot of people out there. There are a lot of people out there feeling alone, feeling free. We all matter. We all have to. This is our job. Kude. And right in the middle of the building of the mission, stop. We stop and we summarize what was given by all the Jewish people. Don't think this mission is the Tzalel show and a few builders and the Chachmei Lev. We stop in the middle to emphasize that this Mishkan is the product of the whole Jewish people who are responsible. And if you look carefully, phrase that repeats itself again and again. Steve Hashem is Moshe. Remember, I was in high school, that's clear. Yitzchak Cohen, great Mashkiach, coming in to speak Parsha today. He spoke about these words, 5 words, Kasher. Steve Hashem is Moshe. He spoke about the fact that they appear so many times in the Parsha so many times. Kasher, Steve Hashem is Moshe. He kept saying it. I still remember his intonation. If you look carefully to how it's structured, it's mentioned by Moshe's jobs and mentioned by Moshe's. 2 parallels. I think it's understandable that it's mentioned by the Jewish people because Steve Hashem is Moshe, and that's how they did it. But by Moshe, when he did things, it should have said Kasher Steve Hashem also. It's talking about Moshe. Moshe did it. Kasher Steve Hashem also. Why does it say Moshe did it? Kasher Steve Hashem is Moshe. The answer is simple. So it's creating parallel. Moshe did it. Get 2 better ones. It said that Moshe put up the Mishkan. It says once. It says Mishkan was put up. God put up. You realize things happen. Things happen. Sure, the whole floor end of the process. You realize our limitations and our responsibility to do our part, but to understand how much happens beyond what we do. Again, there's so much more to say about both Vayachar. I want to talk about the Mishkan of Chodesh. Mussar. And on the one hand, Adar and Nisan are connected. The main Nisan, famous Rashi, Adar, Marv, and Simcha. Because it's Yemei Nisan, Adar, and Elul, Purim, and Pesach. They're connected at the beginning. Haman didn't realize, others were connected back to Nisan. Yeah, everyone knows it. They're connected. But they're not connected. And what I mean by that is, Nisan is when we start something new and fresh. Chodesh Hazeh Lachem. And the halacha that expresses this is obviously, the fact it's a new year. But the shkolim to the mikdash, it's the time where we have to donate something, where we have to step up. One of the things that's nice about the ability to interact with the Israelis in yeshiva, deal with a lot over the past days. They don't know the congregating patients. They probably didn't see the helmet catch. They probably didn't see Tyree. Could it be? He is somewhere. Didn't see Tyree doesn't celebrate. I haven't seen the 100 most important NFL players. They're talking. They're going to get in the guy and get up there. They're not going to know the helmet catch. The Mecca deception. So you said, you have to hope the Nisan and Nikolai are the same. The Nisan are people who go. Are we even thinking about Nisan? It's March 19th, but that's good Nisan or not. There are people who live Judaism. We have to work harder to get more attuned to it. Most of us aren't thinking about a New Year's. Most of us aren't thinking about the Chodesh HaGeula being around the corner. And maybe we have to experience what we're experiencing so we can start thinking about the Chodesh HaGeula. The ability to believe in and just yearn for something new and different. And I'm fairly confident that had the Zman ended normally, at the end of had the Zman ended normally, this Shabbos has to be Shiva, and we would have Shabbos in Shiva, very nice. And then next is that we have Mishmar, we was Chodesh, and we go to Kiryat Shmona, and we go back. Had the Zman ended normally, how many of us would be yearning for something new and different? Would be attuned to HaChodesh Hazeh Lochem Rosh Chodashim. This is the beginning of it for us. This is when our Geula began, and every year when we get to Chodesh Nisan, it's when the Jewish people are redeemed again, and we start over fresh. Do we have a hard time identifying with it? Judaism is a nice cultural thing, but it's not really who we are. We don't really believe that something new is coming around the corner. And maybe we don't believe enough in the fact that it's in Hashem's hands and things can change character. And if we understand that the speed with which this corona has spread isn't just natural, but God's driving with it. Do we understand the same way this can come, this can go? Do we believe in it enough that we're davening that? Do we believe in it enough that we can strive for Chodesh Nisan to be better because we understand that's what HaKadosh Baruch Hu is there for us. That's what HaKadosh Baruch Hu protects us from the first nega. Do we believe in these things? Pass up, do we believe that it's quintessential for us? Feeling even trying in the present. Can we tap into it? Is reading HaChodesh just the way we're commemorating and remembering how God told Jewish people in Egypt, ask the lamb and set it aside on the bedpost. Very nice. Kindergarten, right? Can we understand that Chodesh Nisan is around the corner? The ability for something new and different, for there to be a turn. HaChodesh Hazeh Lochem. That this is when the Jewish people step up and can have their rule and can take control. How many of us are thinking about it? The truth is to be there. I haven't seen much written about Parshat Chodesh. A lot of stuff. Yaakov. The only thing I've seen is, can people say Rosh Chodesh benching in the bracha in shul without a minion? And again, sometimes people are involved in halach, which is very important, but the mahus sometimes is missing. The mahus of chodesh. How many of us said this a month ago when Abba was starting the last couple? We said, gee, listen, we should have Chaim Shafilut and Samos. Chaim told him Shalom. How many of us said we should also not the same? Who you got or son of the car? Cabbage need the thing. They have a couple. So many things. I'm missing the big picture of it. Let's all think about what we were thinking about last month. Let's think about what we were thinking about last month. Maybe it's important. How many more important things do we miss? Service for this thing. That we should say shop the communities, which parts to say, whatever we should. Think about the words you say. Consider this. It's upside down. We'll find it here. You say you ask something for that one. שתחדש עלינו את החודש הזה. שתחדש עלינו את החודש הזה. These words are written to Chodesh Nisan. That is the Chodesh הזה. The Tov. Kitim Anu Chayim Haluchim. Holy status here. Said in Israel, the projection is that 50% of the people of the 70s and then 30% of them are Chaim Haluchim. You live life expectancy 82. And some a little bit extra, right? Me? Chaim Shel Shalom, Chaim Shel Tova, Chaim Shel Bracha. Why so many words? Chaim Shemali Hashem Shalom V'Bein Tov. Shmuel Tovos, Surah Tovos, for the Refuah Shlema, for the rule of good. How can we put Refuah Shlema together? Because the real Refuah comes from you. And unfortunately, sometimes people get stuck in the that Refuah is the goal. What's our goal here? We should all get through the coronavirus. That's our goal. We lose the sense of the bigger picture of what we're hoping for, what we're dreaming about. There are two kinds of people when they face challenges. Two kinds of people. So we're sick, we want to be well. Some people say we want to be well. The goodness of this can be fixed. That's like a beautiful Jewish custom. Most Divrei Torah, the Shem brothers, they be in the ghoulish land. That's what because that's the mission. Because when we have challenges and difficulties, when we think about how can we Not just get out of this. How can we get to that? When we're going to read Parshas Chodesh, when we're going to say Rosh Hashanah, let's not limit what we're thinking about to Rosh Hashanah. Let's think about how we want this to be a step to something bigger, to what we're really yearning for, to what the Jewish people really need. Let's not just hope that this should be something that leads us to a better place and not just to survive. Let's not just hope. Let's stop. Let's go on it. How many people want to do it? How many people wanted to be learning in America, wherever they were, or had other plans? How many people supposed to come back until next year? Nervous. Do we want it? If we want it, we understand. We have to have it taken from us. So suddenly, to appreciate it. There are two kinds of people. Those who are alone. Question. We gotta ask ourselves, how much in our life we need to do and we should do within that really things that are most valuable. But it doesn't mean we shouldn't do that. But do we come to see the things we are doing and need to do as our values instead of valuing the things that we should truly value? Sometimes it needs, them to be taken away for us to, for us to come to appreciate the things we appreciate. Be the receiver. Be the receiver. That's a big rush, Guys, this is happens. I heard it. I get up in the morning, you know what? Takes less time. So bad that it's takes time to get to say to myself, wait, sleep later. Are we ever going to miss this davening again? Depends if we miss it now. Yeah. If we come out of this with a better appreciation for Q of achievement, that's a big accomplishment. How many of us appreciate the ability to learn the Chumash? The ability to shake it, hug a Chaver, hug a Rebbe. We should think about the things in our life that we don't have. It's important because there's so much we don't appreciate. This will be over. It's just sooner rather than later. And there'll be two kinds of people who come out of this. There'll be people who come out of it weaker. your psychological, all kinds of things, fun. And there'll be people who come out of it. And there'll be people who come out of it more confident, more appreciative of the things in their lives, more appreciative of what they can accomplish. What's it telling you? It's telling you, too often we like to see ourselves as victims. We're dependent on what goes on around us. Look at the world. Look at what we want to do. You know what? That might be true. There are forces around us that are all connected. But that's what it is. It's not up to us to decide the world around us, but it's up to us to decide how it is. That's 100%. And part of maturing is for us to recognize that our future is in our hands. What we make out of situations is up to us. It's a very important moment of maturity when it comes to that moment. Reality around us, a little bit in our hands, mostly. The response, totally. Let's not tell ourselves to do. This Shabbos, I assume for most, if not all of us, it's going to be very different than any Shabbos. Probably with our experience. For sure. Maybe with friends. It's going to be a Shabbos, especially in the To what extent is the Shabbos when we go through the motions? Shabbos is closed. Maybe when we can't go through the motions, we have to appreciate the little things. We have to appreciate each other. Maybe Shabbos will be. Who's it up to? If you look carefully to the Haftorah, the basket is reading, right? Lechem, Lechem, Ushmartem, Lechem. Your hands. It's a big maturing moment when a person comes to that recognition, comes to that realization. You're going to decide what your reaction to what you're experiencing is. You're going to decide the type of relative you're going to be, the type of husband you're going to be, the type of hugger you're going to be, the type of leader you're going to be. And don't lie to yourself about thinking it's up to anybody else. There are people who have money that's not going to get corona and come out. And then there are people who are going to have nothing. One of the things we always talk about, one of the things in Yeshiva tries to emphasize as much as possible, is for you to find the inner strength you have inside yourself. Embrace it and build on it. But it's Baruch who creates all of us with a strong core, with the potential for a strong core. And most people find that in different ways in their life. Some people find it in sports, some people find it in socializing, some people find it in a sense of humor. Everyone has a side where they can project themselves. Everyone has sides where they feel weak. The question is whether we build off the experiences we have and we feel our strength to see ourselves as strong, or whether we allow the situations where we feel weakness towards ourselves. Yep. Mm-hmm. But being strong doesn't mean being macho. Or making believe nothing bothers you. Or you're not lonely. That's called lying to yourself. And that never works. I mean, for a while. But it doesn't work in any meaningful long-term way of building yourself. Just delaying the inevitable. No, there's no two levels of lying and denying. Be honest with what you feel. Relate to it and answer it. So why am I feeling this? What's the answer? Lima, not lama, right? Not why. Lima. Where is this supposed to be taken? You may not have the answers to the world. Thankfully, that's God's plan. But what am I supposed to do with this? How do I come out this way? What am I supposed to do with this? How am I supposed to relate to my family? How am I supposed to relate to my family? How am I supposed to important when you're learning the hobbies, sure you set a hobbies to stand on it. Also, your old hobbies, you can give your hobbies. That's all. But I don't ignore. Not just give a report. In my community, this person say that. Talk about it. What am I doing? What am I responding? How do I see this myself? What is this supposed to mean to me? Ask each other. Doesn't mean you have to have the answer. You have to ask the question. It's not clear to one. It's missing the boat to that one. Talk about it. It's healthy. That's Dr. Carl. I'm sure he'll tell you. Now, some of the incoming students, they saw the first schedule that was put out on Sunday. It said, "Cheers be given by Doc Hock." What does that mean? What's the Doc Hock, right? Hock hotel, right? We know what Hock is, right? Okay, Dr. Hockhauser is there. So takes blood traps. Got that cheery profile picture, right? And what is Dr. Hockhauser profile picture, right? Everybody really grow to do something. I'm available. Everyone, do my best. I'm trying to do my best to answer the text. I missed the text. I don't think it was on purpose. That's a show. I responded quickly or something. I do my best to respond to everybody. You have to think about it. Confluence and coincidence of Vayachel Bakude. We should appreciate how important the bigger picture beyond ourselves is. We should appreciate how important Shabbos is for reflecting how Shabbos connects to Vayakhel. Think about it. It's one of the basic distinguishing ideas in Parashas Vayakhel. We should think and reflect more about the relationship. You know, we're men, so we don't really talk about these things, but you know. Keshet. Relationships. You're available to appreciate them more. It's mutter. Send a text to your friend. Send a text to your father. And right, I appreciate you more now. Mutter. Even if you're a man, if you're nervous, get your sister to send a text, okay? Like, reel it off. The two things. Understand the responsibilities we have. Life is not just about what you happen to win and desire at a particular moment. It's the responsibilities we have. It's understanding that all of us matter, all of us count when we embrace the responsibilities. When we don't stand in, when we don't embrace our responsibilities, we feel like we matter less. You know why? Because we do. Because when we think our life is just about what we happen to want right now, it's happenstance. When we realize and embrace what we're responsible for, we find our true selves. And everybody should think it direct old age is 21, whatever you're at, the times in your lives when you felt that you had something that was yours to do may have been less important, maybe being the student council president, coaching younger kids, or being a youth group director. May not have been, building the Mishkan. But when you felt responsible for something, you felt you mattered, you had a place in the world. You know what? You did. And at every time in our life, we have to ask ourselves, why are we matter right now? What way do we matter? What's our responsibility? And the bigger the challenges in life, the more things are crazy, the more we have to ask ourselves this way. I think to myself, we should listen to we should keep perspective here, you know what I'm saying? Eating this. This is not, the same thing. For Kal V'chomer, you read Chuvas from Howard. How is Rav Oshri in the Mussar get out of Chuvas? How did people, with what was going on around them, stop? Because there were some people who said, okay, what's my job today? What's my place in the world today? Some of you guys woke up that this morning, ask yourself that. I'd be like, I'd love to do what I'm supposed to do. What's my job in the world today? I grew up to use it every day of your life. Ask that question. And Parshat Tikkunei is about us seeing that we all have, and that the mission can only be a mission when all of us embrace it. And the third point, that the Mafia and Haftorah are bringing out of Chodesh. I don't know if I ever appreciated before in my life how important it is, conscious of relationships. And you know what? It's not up to us to decide. It's got to be with you. But it is up to us to decide. That's it is up to us to decide if we're going to make sure that we're misconscious. That's an art. Nachman the rest of the beautiful things about the Hoshes of about his conscious. He says it's us for a person to ever get old. A person has to always renew themselves. Tradition speaks of the eagles renew themselves. It isn't true, I don't know, whatever. The idea. Kadesh connection. And if that's a harder thing to realize all the time, we want something. We want something. We need something. And unfortunately, we were renewing ourselves enough. We had to go from the climax of Purim to the Mesilah of afterward. We remember the beautiful relationships we appreciated more important. To go from that to the separation, maybe the sharpness of it, so we can appreciate more. Appreciate for ourselves and then show that we appreciate it. Show the first world that we appreciate it. All the things in our lives that we have less of now, let's need them more and show that we need them more by taking advantage of them in the best way. Morgen Sudas and such Sudas talks about the Abbas Israel. Ata Takum Tarachim Chiyam Ki Eish Lechen Akiva Moed. You Hashem should get up and have mercy on Chiyam. Because it's the time for mercy, Kiva Moed, because it's here. Morgen Sudas asks, how do we know Kiva Moed? And it quotes how the Amorim would roll the dirt of Eretz Yisrael. Roll the dirt of Eretz Yisrael. That's all they had left. But they appreciated so much when they had lost what they used to have. So appreciate whatever you have. A person who has the great supposed to be in Eretz Yisrael. A person who has the great supposed to be in Yeshiva in Eretz Yisrael. So we appreciate it. Are we looking at what we've lost? Or are we appreciating what we have? A person who doesn't understand they're supposed to be in Yeshiva in Eretz Yisrael should reach out to their friends who are alone in Chutz La'aretz. A person in Chutz La'aretz who doesn't have a chavrusha with him. Oh, chavrusha told me so. Who lost 2 weeks of his month. Who lost the ability to continue their regular life in YU, whatever it is. So sad to see we have 2 alumni got engaged. Beautiful simcha to see if they got engaged. Mazel to Noam Benunu and Joey Carrick. Mazel. So sad that you can't have it the way we want. We sit and cry. But we appreciate what we do have. And it's precious. You can pout and be angry and look good to blame. You appreciate the things you take for granted and the little bit you have. Maybe we're experiencing because we didn't appreciate. I'm sure we did. That's why we're experiencing that. And God, big thing. We appreciate the things we lost. We appreciate the things we have. Are we too busy seeing all the problems with our parents, all the problems with our siblings, and all the problems with our chavrusas, and all the problems with our day, and all the problems with yeshiva, and all the problems with everything else in our life? That Kodesh Baruch Hu has to put us in a place where we have to lose it and yearn for it. Sense of responsibility, the sense of understanding what's in our hands, and in the sense of our identity as a people who are good, who are above the limitations of this world, who live on a higher level, who have the ability to live on a higher level, who have a special relationship with Kodesh Baruch Hu, who's there for us. We can forget those things. You can forget those things, especially when the world is experiencing something together. We forget that we're different. He said, the Magefa is not in Nachal Asecha. It's in China, Italy. Yes, it's in China. But there's something unique about Nachal. Especially during Good Friday. Ezra Cooper, I imagine there's a number of goyim in Memphis dealing with the same thing, right? But okay, the Jews are different, right? Just ask all the anti-Semites in Memphis; they'll tell you the Jews are different, right? We know the Jews are different because we need the anti-Semites to remind us that we're different. Kodesh Baruch will make sure they remind us that. We shouldn't lose Jewish identity and uniqueness within the picture of what the world is experiencing together. We care about the world. We dive into the world. Seeing now more names on my screen. Joshua Pomerantz is here, coming next to looking forward. We care about it. We dive into the rest of the world. Chaviv Adam Shenifra B'Tzelem. But we also have our own energy, our own place that we don't always appreciate. Should appreciate. And, I look at myself now and thinking, well, I could talk to myself sometimes. I don't know if anything I said is relevant to you. I give us all a bracha. And we should take advantage of the experience we're having. Become better and stronger people. Baruch Hashem, we've all grown in the past years of our lives. We should come out stronger. And we should know that coming out stronger from it doesn't depend on how many live streams you watch, although that's a good thing. It depends on how much we internalize things and how much we take responsibility for it. What does it mean to come out a better person? To appreciate the things in our lives that we may not have appreciated enough. To appreciate the other people. To appreciate the people in our lives. Our parents. Appreciate our parents. Our siblings. Yeah, our siblings. Children. Chaverim. Rebbeim. Staff that cares about us. People who care about us in general. To appreciate them. And to understand more. Appreciate and understand more. It's good to be alive. And it's good to be a Jew. And the responsibility that comes along with that. To do something more. Do something more. Talmidei Chachamim Marvin Shalom B'Olam. Not always true that Talmidei Chachamim make peace in the world. Then he explained, I have to look at the pasuk we quoted to Mussar in Kabbalat Shabbat. Many of you be davening Kabbalat Shabbat along tomorrow. Make sure to sing it well. Make sure to daven and sing. Don't rattle off the mizmorim. Daven it like you davened it in Shabbat. Daven like you davened it the first Shabbos at the Kotel. Talmidei Chachamim Marvin Shalom B'Olam. Shenema b'chol banayich Yehudei Hashem. Al tikvei banayich elo bonayich. Not your children, your builders. One vowel difference between banayich and bonayich. It's about turning from a little kid to a person who sees themselves in this world to build. And if you see yourself in this world to build, that's what happens. The world right now needs a lot of builders. Needs a lot of people to spend on other people. People should think about it. What can I do? Myself, that's my responsibility. Already Hashem Darkeh. It's okay to not know where we need to go. It's just not good to not want to know. Not good to not ask to know. And Baruch Hashem, we're told how to ask. And when we ask enough and care enough, we generally get an indication. I don't know how this works. turning on the mics, turning off the mics, changing church. But I'm going to sing already. I said that. Maybe some other things. It's great to connect with all of you and not connect with all of you at the same time. Feel our relationship. Not by not being able to be together. Hopefully we'll appreciate each other enough. And we'll be able to be together. The next time we see each other, it'll mean more than the last time we saw each other. I know that's a me. I know. I'm not saying this, Hashem. Because even if there's people that I wouldn't have seen anyway, knowing that I can't see you. Rainy Hashem depends on having a meeting. You can ask Hashem to show us whatever we like. No one else does. He needs a melody.
It's so awkward. Sounds like it'll sound much better. You're the wrong person. It's awesome.
But I can tell you who wants to put drugs. I can tell you to care that you can't put drugs in every chest. Let's end by singing Who Name I Talk About Noise. Wonderful.
Can we try again?
Share with
Try again.
What do you think? It sounds better when we do it together, no?
So much better. Unnatural.
You can't hear it.
It's been helpful. You talking to myself. So you can let me know. You can let Shane know. Maybe we'll do it again next Thursday. Next Thursday we'll all together. We'll be able to do it naturally. I hope great. In general, give us feedback on how we can help. Regular shiur, Mussar. We want to be there to help you. We don't care very much about you, very much miss you. And we should share news of good health. Good health, simcha, not you and all of your families.
With Eitan Moshe. Boys, I wish you all a wonderful Shabbos. I hope to be able to be in Yeshiva tomorrow. Should be doing. Should feel well. I wish you all a good Shabbos. If you want to hakel, in the deeper sense of the word, one of the kude in the personal responsibility sense of the word, and one of his chachas for all of us, for all of Am Yisrael, for all of the world. We should know that it's possible, so that we should daven with a true heart. And may the fact that we daven with such a heart bring it closer. The Nisa Nigel Hashem. The Nisa Asidim.
Comes in room 8. Anybody want to do negative of the week? Anybody want to do negative of the week quickly? Y'all should go after Shane. We're setting us all up. Thank you, Shane. Thank you, Shane. Anybody want to do negative of the week right now? Let's do it then. Shane, am I editing the YouTube stream? No, wait. Is this right now?